This is Akashvani. In the program Spotlight, now we bring you a discussion on Union Cabinet decisions. The participants are Anand Mishra, Political Analyst, and Deeksha Saksena, Akashvani Correspondent.
The Union Cabinet, chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, took some important decisions on Monday. To talk more about these cabinet decisions today, we are joined by Anand Mishra, Political Analyst. Mr. Mishra, welcome to Akashvani News.
Thank you, Deeksha, for having me.
Mr. Mishra, as we decode the cabinet decisions today, I would first like to ask you about the National Mission on Natural Farming. The Government of India has launched the National Mission on Natural Farming to promote natural farming in mission mode across the country. Could you first talk about the components of this?
Deeksha, this is a very ambitious scheme. In fact, if we look at the farming sector, internationally there has been growing criticism about chemical fertilizers and its side effect on public health. So, in a country like India where there has been poverty and the country has struggled with the problem of providing proper adequate food grains to people. So for decades, our focus was entirely on food grain production, how to enhance it. Green revolution was part of it. So now I think India is sufficiently self-dependent in the matter of food grain. So now the government is getting concerned about the ill impact of chemical fertilizers, both on public health and also on the soil, because after sustained use of chemical fertilizers, the productivity of the soil goes down. So in that aspect, this is being internationally felt that let us go back to old mode of agriculture. So this natural farming is a step in that direction. I will say still it's in a very nascent stage. It will undergo multiple changes. It will have to be refined, redefined and replanned at various levels. But yes, it's a very ambitious project in a very positive direction. We have to look forward to it with great anticipation.
Mr. Mishra, since you spoke about sustainability and concerns regarding health, I would now also like to ask you, why was this decision taken now, and will private players also be involved in it? Because as we move forward, the scheme will be expanded. A lot of more farmers will be involved in it. And since these days we see that a lot of startups, people are conscious about their health. So a lot of startups are promoting natural farming. So do you feel that in coming days, private players will also play a key role in enhancing the reach of this natural farming?
Yes, Deeksha, I think that should be a natural corollary, because once you start with this scheme and you kind of a pilot project, not exactly pilot project because the scale is a bit larger than the pilot project reach. But you see, yes, in coming days you will see a lot of private players playing into this scheme. They should be made part of it if this scheme has to succeed, because there is a limit up to which the government initiative can go. And food grain is not something which concerns only 10, 20,000, 50,000 people. It's a country with a multi-crore population. So yes, I believe that as we progress, if the scheme delivers results as expected in time to come, private sectors will have a role.
Also, Mr. Mishra, the other thing which comes to my mind is because it's not easy to move from the kind of farming that we are practicing right now to completely switch to natural farming. What other kind of initiatives will government take, or what are they planning to take to convince farmers?
Yes, Deeksha, this is a very disruptive move, so we cannot expect success to this all of a sudden. Yes, this is an effort in the right direction, and but this natural farming has been a bit expensive affair. Traditionally, it results in low yield and high cost. So I think initially government will have to fund a lot of expenditure. Will have to encourage natural organic things, and it will be kind of a training exercise for farmers in few areas where this kind of farming is possible, because it will also depend on the kind of soil, the kind of climate. If the climate is helpful to natural farming, then farmers will take it up. If the climate is not helpful, it is kind of a anti-natural farming, then and it doesn't bring any good produce, then farmers will not take it up. After all, farming is an economic activity. People are taking it up for livelihood. So yes, I think government will have to do a lot of hand-holding in the beginning. They will have to funding, lot of training, research, and also raw material.
Now I would like to draw your attention to the other decision which was also approved by the Union Cabinet yesterday, the Atal Innovation Mission 2.0. So first of all, for the benefit of our listeners, could you throw some light on what exactly Atal Innovation Mission is, and how is this new step towards fostering innovation will help the country in supporting the ecosystem of startups, research and development?
It's a scheme that's been going on for some time. This time it has been extended. It's a flagship initiative to create and promote a culture of innovation and entrepreneurship. So basically reasons where the government wants to help the youths take up new jobs, new training, new kind of entrepreneurship. This scheme has been helping. So this time you will find that a lot of focus is on those areas where the government feels that there is a problem of unemployment, problem of lack of training, the problem of lack of opportunities among the youths is creating some problem. So you will find that youths have been a strong support base of Modi government since 2014 itself, and this is another attempt to strengthen that constituency, because if you don't provide youths venues for employment training, then there is a possibility of they're going astray and creating a lot of other situations which you have seen in various states.
Let's listen into Mr. Chintan Vaishnav, who is Mission Director, Atal Innovation Mission Niti Aayog. Mr. Vaishnav, welcome to Akashvani News. I would like to understand from you the cabinet decision on Monday, which was approved yesterday, that the continuation of Atal Innovation Mission will be in place and the budget allocated for it is 2,750 crore rupees. In your opinion, how is it going to boost the entrepreneurship ecosystem in our country?
So what we have proposed in the next until 2028 March to be done by Atal Innovation Mission is 3 sets of programs. First, to increase input to our innovation ecosystem. There are a lot of people who are excluded currently. For instance, those innovators, entrepreneurs, investors who don't speak English are not included. We have proposed a program for that called LEAPI, which will build innovation ecosystems for these languages. Then the border regions, say Jammu and Kashmir, northeastern states, aspirational districts and blocks, the ecosystem is not suited to them, so they are excluded. The second set of 4 programs we have proposed are to strengthen the ecosystem. So once we include them, can they succeed? Can we improve the throughput of the ecosystem? There are 4 programs. First, to create a career pathway for people who build the ecosystem. Second, to create deep tech reactor for those ideas that take longer time, more money, etc., those types of startups. Third is state innovation mission, so helping every state and union territory build their own strong ecosystem given their strengths. And fourth, to internationalize our innovation ecosystem. The third area which we have proposed is to increase the quality of output. So improve the quality of output of our ecosystem. So can we produce better jobs, better products, better services through building accelerators with industry, because they know how to do that well. And then secondly, building platforms like IDEX we have built with Ministry of Defense. We want to build similar platforms so that we can procure as a government from startups, not only promote them, but also start procuring from them. So we'll be building minimum 10 such platforms with different ministries, central ministries. So that's really the scope of this. Essentially 3 things: increase input, improve throughput, and improve the quality of output.
Thank you so much, Mr. Vaishnav, for throwing light on this particular aspect of the cabinet decision that was taken yesterday. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Coming on to the next decision of the Union Cabinet, Mr. Mishra, which was One Nation, One Subscription. So basically, to democratize access to academic resources, the Cabinet launched the One Nation, One Subscription, a central initiative aimed at providing nationwide access to scholarly research articles and journals. In your opinion, how will this decision help lakhs and lakhs of students in accessing the rich repository of research material which was otherwise inaccessible to them?
Deeksha, Indian cities, quality research material has always been a problem. The availability of quality research material, quality journal, especially in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities. So it has been a problem not only to individuals but also institutions. Institutions had very limited funding capacity. They cannot buy all international journals on their own. So this One Nation, One Subscription scheme comes handy for that 13,000 internationally acclaimed journals can be accessed in one go. And also with the country moving in the digital mode, the focus on the online transactions, online knowledge, this subscription will enable students to access the quality journals sitting at their home. I believe that initially it is linking the educational institutions, and I believe that the linking students will be the responsibility of the institutions. And in days to come, there would be a facility to students to access these journals, these research materials sitting in their home through some individual IDs by paying a very nominal fee. So that is something which is going to be a big boost to students in small cities, because as you see that there has been constant decline in the habit of people going to libraries. 2 decades, 3 decades back, there was a habit of people going to libraries, reading newspapers, reading books. Especially every district used to have a central library. So that practice has come down, and besides, even though libraries did not have the ability of these quality international journals on different subjects. So I think it's a very big move. We have to see how it is implemented and to which level it goes. The challenge will be to taking it to the grassroots.
I would also like to mention that the scheme will be administered through a simple, user-friendly and fully digital process. So it means that we'll have to have a very strong digital infrastructure to make this scheme reach the grassroots, as you spoke about it. Moving on to the other decision, Mr. Mishra, 3 multi-tracking projects of the Indian Railways were also approved by the cabinet yesterday, sanctioned by the cabinet yesterday, at a combined cost of 7,927 crore rupees. So these multi-tracking projects have been approved on Jalgaon, Manmad, Bhusawal, Khandwa and Prayagraj, Manikpur tracks, and it will be completed in a record time of 4 years. In your opinion, the government's focus has been on strengthening and improving the railway infrastructure in the country. What was the idea behind this particular project?
The railway has always been the main transporter, not only of goods but also of passengers. And wherever railway infrastructure is robust, eases the burden on road infrastructure. You also see road accidents has been a big problem because of the pressure on the roads. The number of vehicles flying on the roads is going day by day. So that's the attempt to create a more robust rail network. And you see the cities that will come on this route are very interesting. You find this Mumbai Prayagraj Varanasi route. I mean, now you get travel to the Jyotirlingas in Nashik, Trambakeshwar, then Khandwa, Omkareshwar, and then Kashi Vishwanath in Varanasi. You have cities like Prayagraj, Chitrakoot, Gaya and Shirdi falling on this route. So apart from giving a fillip to freight, this will also help boost tourist inflow in this area.
Religious tourism.
Yeah. So, and Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh and UP have a number of such places where religious tourism is a bread earner.
In fact, Mr. Mishra, these projects are also expected to ease logistics cost and lower oil imports and interestingly cut CO2 emissions.
Yeah, because see, Deeksha, more of vehicles moving on roads means more diesel being burnt. More diesel being burnt means more pollution. So railway has always this unique feature of being a low emission, low carbon emission transport. Also because a lot of railway lines have already been electrified. So if the railway more involved into freight activities, it will ease the burden on the highways, it will ease the burden on the road transport, it will cut down pollution, it will cut down on the fuel uses, and as we know, our country does not produce petroleum, we import it. It will also help save the foreign currency.
Lastly, I would like to draw your attention to the hydroelectric project in Arunachal Pradesh. The cabinet approved an investment proposal for the 240 megawatt Heo hydroelectric project in Sri Yohumi district of Arunachal Pradesh. And the completion timeline for this has been kept to 15 months. The project aims to enhance power generation capacity in the northeastern region. How, in your opinion, will it help improve the infra and also the power generation capacity of the entire Northeast, which has seen development in the past few years?
Hydel project hydel power is cheaper when it compared to production of thermal electricity. So apart from giving push to electric generation, it also gives a push to the infrastructure development in Northeast, which is very central to India. And mind it, Arunachal Pradesh shares borders with China. We have a number of issues there. So a development of Arunachal Pradesh and resultantly the entire Northeast is very much part of the government's agenda, and it helps connect, rather mainstreaming the Northeastern region with India.
Cabinet yesterday also approved the PAN 2.0 scheme, which is paperless and online system. Mr. Mishra, I feel from promoting and approving the National Mission on Natural Farming to Indian Railways multi-tracking projects, we are collectively moving towards pollution-free, sustainable environment. Thank you so much for joining us today for this discussion on the cabinet decisions.
Thank you, Deeksha.
You were listening to a discussion on Union Cabinet decisions. The participants were Anand Mishra, political analyst, and Deeksha Saksena, Akashvani correspondent. This program was produced and presented by the News Services Division of Akashvani.